Hey, what's up, Mission Pro Wrestling family? Welcome to another exciting edition of Mission Pro Wrestling's Unmatched. I am Front Row, joined this week and every week by my best friend out on the West Coast, Trenda. What's up, Trenda?
Hey, front row, just enjoying, the week. Looking forward to the weekend. It's been a long work week, but yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about some of the more relaxing things in our life, such as wrestling. So, yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on in life and wrestling and all over the place. I agree. For me, it's been a fast week. It seems like every day at the end of the workday, I'm like, oh my God, where did all the time go? I'm so far behind, but yeah,
Yeah, I
it's good.
get
It's
that.
nice to be able to relax at the end of the day. My wife and I usually hang out and have supper, play some Yahtzee, and then watch some wrestling or whatever's on.
Yahtzee. Yeah,
Yeah.
something you actually introduced to me for the first time when I was down there in December before Christmas. And so yeah, I've actually been practicing. So the next time I'm out there, I'm looking forward to a game.
Awesome. Nice. Boy, we got a lot of people in the chat already. Say hi. We've got Tony and Marks and Brian, Deb, RA. I think we got Mr. Twister in there. A ton of people. Man, there's a lot of people joining tonight.
Ah,
Awesome. That's so cool.
welcome everybody. Welcome.
Thank you everybody for joining. Um, yeah, so it's exciting. We've got just a little over a week until Edge of Glory on April 22nd. That's going to be just an awesome show. I'm really looking forward to all of the matches. We're going to talk just briefly a little bit about it because I know on Tuesday Emily and Veda are going to do a full breakdown of the matches, of the whole show, and everything that we have to look forward to. And that's Tuesday night on a mission at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. or 9:05, I should say, Central. Awesome. So let me just show you guys something cool. So we talked about Vanity is facing Alejandra Lyon. They are both fierce competitors. They both competed in Mission Pro. Both have a lot to prove. However, this match is now. Oh, I got it wrong. Hang on one second. I got it in here somewhere. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Okay. It is now for the RCW Phoenix Championship, which Vanity has just recently won. So she'll be defending her title in a Mission Pro ring on April 22nd. It's very exciting. Um, it's really really cool to see this title defended, in a Mission Pro ring. So I'm looking forward to that. Of
Yeah,
course, we have.
wow. The fact that it's just become a title match has made the stakes so much more high. You know, I was listening to Emily's show on Tuesday, and we were kind of in the chat debating about everybody debating about whom they wanted to win, and I seem to be the underdog in this. I actually am, excuse me, I actually am rooting for Vanity to win, and it seems that everybody else is against me. But now, she's a champion within her own self, within her own right. So, I mean, I feel like that just pushes her up just a little bit more up the ladder. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in this match. I mean, you got to admit, with becoming a champion gives you just a little bit more ego, just a little bit more even courage to say that in that match she's going to walk in there feeling herself, and I'm sure she doesn't want to lose a championship she just won. So again, Vanity for the win.
Yeah, and there's a lot of truth to what you're saying because we've seen Vanity over the years, and in the last year or two she's really emerged and transformed herself into this new competitor. She's a much more hard-hitting style. She's a more serious competitor. Obviously, she's now a champion. So, I mean, the odds are kind of in her favor, but I would never count out Alejandra. I mean, she's
Oh no,
just.
no, she's great too. She's great in her own right. I'm just saying, if I just won a title, though, I'm gonna come out there giving it everything I got. There's no way I want to embarrass myself and lose this championship that I just received. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I agree. There's a hunger there to
that's
retain
just
that
my
title.
thoughts.
Oh man, we got a bunch more. I see Sam in Cleveland's with us. Hey Sam. And I
John and
see
Neil is
John's
here.
here, Neil's
Yeah,
here, JD's here. JD, I'll pop your comments up when
awesome.
we get on to those topics. You're getting ahead of us, sir. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about some cool stuff that's going on in wrestling, all of our favorite women's matches over the last week across multiple promotions. But we're also going to talk about our favorite entrance themes, women's entrance themes. So
Yes.
we're going to be looking at the chat. I want everybody to participate, give us your favorite themes. We're not there yet, but when we get there, I want to hope to see a lot of you guys share your favorites with us.
Yes, so start thinking about it right now. Start thinking
Yes.
about what your favorite women's entrance themes are.
Yep. It could be anything: WWE, NXT, AEW, Indies, Impact, whatever one you think was your. Give us a couple of your favorites. There's so many great ones. So let's start where we usually start is on Monday. We're gonna talk a little
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw. It was interesting because we had a tag team championship match. In the back, Lita was received a beatdown. We're not really sure who at whose hands. And
Mhm.
then, of course, Trish takes her place in this match to team up with Becky against Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. And then, surprisingly, they win. Raquel and Liv
Well,
win and are your new.
yeah,
They are
very
your
much
new champs.
surprisingly. Yeah, so again, I don't know. For weeks I've been saying basically that this tag team, this championship duo with Becky and Lita has not been a good feel for me. So I've been wanting them to lose and honestly, again, I asked this week, is Lita and Trish a fixture in the WWE now? Because they seem to be trying to tell a long-term story with them, but at the same time, I honestly just feel like they're filler and not good filler at this point in time. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do with the women's tag team championships at this point, but whatever it is, for the last couple of months, dude, they had Damage Control had it. Now they lost it to what Becky and Lita, which I don't know where that was going. And then they brought Trish in as like a cheerleader and a third. And now it's like, having Raquel and Liv hold the titles does give me hope if they allow these women to every week maybe find another women's tag team to defend it with and to try to build some type of prestige. But I don't know where they're going with this women's championship title. Every week I've been talking about, I don't understand what this story is or how it's coming about. I don't know. I'm just lost with the whole thing. But I am glad that the titles are off of Lita, Trish, uh, uh, Becky, Trish, Lita, Trish, Becky, Trish, Lita title. I'm
Okay,
glad.
so there's two things from what you just said that I want to touch on. The first is we saw Trish turn on Becky, which to me made sense. We knew something was going to happen. I didn't see them being a cohesive team
Mm.
for very long. They're three single stars. Two of them are Hall of Famers. So to me, this this new attitude, this bad guy heel turn, whatever you want to call it, from Trish, I like it. I like to see this edge, and I think that it puts Becky in some jeopardy. We'll find out hopefully in coming weeks, who actually um, caused all the commotion backstage with Lita.
Lita.
But
Yeah.
more importantly, because this is about titles, to me, the women's tag team championship is currently on a team that I don't think is going to be around long as far as title holders. I think they're headed towards Shayna and Ronda holding those championships or
So
being the tag
this
champs.
is another handoff to a handoff.
I think so. I mean, on one hand, I like them. I like the fact that we have a new team with two relatively younger talents. Obviously, Liv's been around a little longer,
Definitely.
but they're not main event talents right now, and they're now tag champions. So they have the opportunity to build equity in themselves as competitors, and also to add some prestige to the tag title. But to do that, you have to hold it for a long time. So if they're
Mhm.
only holding it to Backlash, or because I don't think we know yet what that match is going to be
Yeah, they
at
haven't
Backlash.
announced anything. Yeah.
No, but I mean, I suspect it's going to be against Ronda and Shayna, but who knows, right? Um, I think by SummerSlam or at SummerSlam, we have Ronda and Shayna as champions, and then they run through the division because they're going to be unstoppable, or at least I think so.
Okay,
Um,
I can see that. I can see that, and actually, I agree with that because I think the two of them together, being the force that they are, would bring some more prestige to the titles. And the only thing with that is you're saying run through the division, but realistically, I feel like, they're just throwing people together to make a women's tag division. Is I mean, maybe hopefully they keep some people together so that they can kind of build and kind of get a bond so that we can um really recognize them as a tag team. But even the Liv and Raquel situation, that's only been a few months. Like, it's not like, they have a real strong women's division. So I mean, we'll
not from a
see.
tag perspective.
I don't want to be negative about it. We'll see. I'm just
Yeah.
saying though, I just feel like, they need to work on it just a little bit. But that they, just a little bit, just a little bit. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, and I did want to go back to a post that JD posted about Trish should have waited until WrestleMania Backlash or the upcoming draft before turning heel for her versus Big Time Bex. That brings up an interesting point because the
Hmm.
draft, Triple H did announce that the draft was coming in a couple weeks. We don't know
Yes.
the exact date, but where you have, and it's not, it's happened before where you've had tag teams who are current champions get split up in the draft.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
We've
unusual,
definitely
but
seen that.
so
So
that is something that we're gonna have to keep an eye out for. So I'm gonna be interested to see where this goes. I do think that they put a lot of thought into this. So I think it's
we'll
the other.
see. Hopefully.
I mean, the other thing too is like, and what do we know? Like, but I know I saw several of the WWE wrestlers post about the travel issues on Monday. There were
Yeah,
some major
yeah,
issues, so my guess is there were probably some changes. I don't think we saw the show Monday night that they were intending to put on. I think it was
yeah,
different,
yeah.
but who's to say? Like Tony says, who's to say? It's a maybe
There he
at best.
goes. Who's to say?
Who's to say? shout out to
Tony.
shout out to my friend Sam Roberts for that one. Um, okay,
Ah,
so I know we're kind of going out of order here, but I want to jump to AEW. But
all right, all right.
Before we talk Dynamite, I've been sort of critical about the Jade Cargill story. They did a great job building her up, but they're sort of like, what's now? What's next? And all of her matches have been very couple minutes. They've been squash matches. They've been like, okay, they're just a number. It's whatever and oh, it's
Mhm.
55-0 this week. However, this week was different. At Battle of the Belts, we saw Mission Pro Wrestling alum Billy Starks,
Billy
and
Starks against
she
Jade. Yeah.
challenged she challenged for that title, and they got, she gave Jade a run for her money, got a lot of offense in. There were some moments where I genuinely thought she was going to win, and it was not a quick match.
No, yeah. I enjoyed it. I mean, which is um a little different. I watching some of the AEW matches just because of this first statement you made, the time frame.
Mhm.
Usually the women don't get enough time to tell a good story. And then they have this, this new young woman who's in here who's what how old is she? Like what is she?
18.
18. I was just about to say 19, 18 years old, and she was in the ring doing some things that, that some pros that couldn't even do. And you know personally just from watching Jade since the time she's been in AEW, how her skills have definitely advanced and how she's becoming such a credible champion even with the 55-0 right now. But I, like you said, there was times that I really thought like, oh my god, are they really gonna, is this really gonna happen? Like this can be the biggest upset at the best time, because what best time to do it than at Battle of the Belts? You know, what
Yeah.
other time then? So that I almost thought it was gonna happen, but then Jaden, and there it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we didn't really expect that Billy was going to win, but just personally, as a fan of her,
It
I'm
was a
was
good
really,
match.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
glad to see her. And then, of course, we found out just a few days after that, Tony Schiavone announced on the What Happened When podcast that Billy Starks has been signed by AEW. I've not seen an
Yes.
official graphic, but
All
Tony
elite.
did say it. Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Yes. Yes.
whether she's all elite or on like one of the different, they have different levels of contracts there, and I have no idea what
Okay.
the status
Well,
is, but
yeah.
either way, she's got a gig, and I'm happy for her. So
Yes.
that's very
Congratulations to
cool.
her.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of her on AEW. So let's go over to Dynamite now. This, okay, deep breath.
I had the eyes go back, but you did a deep, but it's okay. Same thing, same thing. All right, we're good.
Okay,
We're good.
so
We're good.
we had our customary 9:25 match on AEW, which is every week 9:25, 7 minutes, three of it's in commercial break. Same thing every week. That's not to take away from the
I feel
talent.
like you're a producer for the show. Like this is how it's going to be.
It's been that way for at least 8 or 9 months. We kind of follow it along. So you've got
Ah,
so first of all, you've got some very talented people in this match. You've got Riho and Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho and Tony Storm, all excellent
yes.
wrestlers, right? So not a knock on any of the talents
Love
there.
Sky Blue. It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful up and coming talent. I kind of feel bad that she was even involved in this match. Like, I mean, I know Sam is like awful match. Like, I mean, and if that's just, I mean, it was just a majority rule. It was like, what is going on here? And all of these women, like you said, are so talented. They work so hard. You know, each and every one of these women have really put out the best work that they can in other promotions and some points at AEW. And it's to see that wreck of a match and just have it just, I don't know. I just feel like it just downgraded women on a whole nother level.
Well, I mean, okay, so conceptually, I've said that I do like the idea of the Outcasts versus the Originals. I think that's a good storyline. I
It
don't know that
is. It
I don't
is.
know that they're executing on it in the best way. Maybe they need a few more people involved. I don't know, but we saw Jamie Hayter come in and try to make the save after Riho got the L spray painted on her, and then of course Britt Baker comes out, and everybody's involved, and it's the same thing every week. So
Yeah.
something has to change because I feel like there's a lot of talented people there who are just being put in bad positions. So, and the same was true for the match. There was definitely some spots in the match where I was like, man, they're just not
Yeah.
on the same. Like this just isn't going well. But
Yeah. It felt
again,
like nobody was vibing there. Like it
yeah,
just wasn't a vibe there. I mean, I loved the most positive thing I can say is I love the offense that Sky Blue is getting in, and just to give her some TV time and to just really allow her to be seen, because we know what a great talent she is, and being the youngest on the crew. But at the same time, this match was just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
wasn't good. But
What?
it's not a knock because all four of these women have proven that they can have excellent matches. Like they didn't put like subpar competitors in there. They had four really good people in there, and
Yeah.
it just didn't work. So, but
Anyway.
it is what it is. We move on to next week. But then immediately after Dynamite, we kind of been following along with the AEW reality show All Access. And I think
Mhm.
originally I had some apprehension about it. I think overall they've done a pretty good job of telling stories that we get invested in for the most part, showing people in good light. I think the first week we saw Britt sort of trash talk Thunder a little bit, and then Thunder was able to tell her story the following week. This week was interesting to me because they focused really heavily on Britt and Soraya's match, and I think the two things stuck out to me. I want to get your opinion on. We really saw how much stress and worry went into that match from Soraya's perspective, not knowing how it was going to go, coming back from injury after so many years.
Yeah.
I really felt the pressure of what that match meant to both women.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, both women, because for me, what I noticed the most was the pressure that Britt was having, like backstage, just watching it and trying to get into not necessarily into character, but just trying to pump herself up for her little cameos, and to try to just like watching Soraya have her interview with, who was it? Oh, yes, my husband's
Renee,
babysitter. Oh, I'm sorry, Renee.
yeah,
And then, yeah, she had the interview with her, and then, just watching how they were both really nervous, and it seemed really intense on both ends. I know, Sarah is a star within herself. I think I would probably be super nervous too, just to be in her presence, because she's known, she's been here, she's been here since a young girl, and having her come back, and her fandom, her fan base is like, so to have to kind of step up and step into those shoes, even as a Britt Baker, with the type of, at least, eagle I see that she shows across the screen, because I don't know her personally. You know, I can see why that would be real intense and real nerve wracking for the both of them. So I don't know.
yeah,
I like the show though. I like the stuff that they're saying so far. I mean, I don't think they're going a little bit too much out the box or whatever, and really giving us like some real exclusives or anything like that. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, just for reality show, it's okay.
yeah. So I have to call out the one thing about the show that I thought was pretty funny is, Britt and Tony Schiavone are sitting at breakfast or whatever. They're sitting there talking, and Britt was sort of complaining about the title. At the time, Thunder was still the title holder, was still the champion, and there was the
Mhm.
interim title, and she was sort of complaining about that. And she said to Tony, she said, "Everybody's up in arms about this," and Tony said, "Literally nobody but you. You need to move on." Like,
Exactly, exactly. He's like,
it was
"What?"
funny. And she was like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay."
yeah.
But I did find that I found it funny, and I'm still really getting more invested in Tay and Sammy, and getting to see more of like what goes into his journey or their journey. Seeing
Yeah,
Tay try to fight for some TV time. I like that, and I
exact
think
yeah.
I want to
There's a
ask
lot of
your
tension
opinion.
with.
I
Go
want to ask
ahead,
your
go
opinion
ahead.
about this because we talked to people, and I think I was talking to Sam in Cleveland last night about this. About do shows like this, specifically this show, do they pull the curtain too far back, or are they still leaving enough mystery for you to enjoy it?
So yeah, so just watching this, like, I'm enjoying trying to journey with Tay as well, because I feel like, just watching the show last night and just seeing how she is fighting for TV time, and then just seeing that she used to be a face, and now with this marriage and everything, she's kind of healed over. And then, it's not, but I do believe her popularity has advanced so much more. But then again, at the same time, she's not on television as much, so I'm enjoying watching them two with their dynamic, because Sammy is on television all the time now. Like he's in a match with all the top stars in AEW for the most part. So yeah, I like the story. I like seeing what's behind it, but again, it doesn't give too much because it's basic conversation. They're not talking about nothing real elaborate or giving us nothing that we wouldn't really assume that they would really be talking about. It's not. It's just enough to keep you going or keep you tuned in, but not enough to just spoil everything that's going on. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, and so like that's a good point because last week, for example, we saw Brian Danielson and Sammy talking backstage after their match, and of course they're competitors on TV. But Sammy was nervous to wrestle someone of Brian
Yeah,
Danielson's caliber, and Brian came backstage and thanked him and said, you were great. Like I loved working with you, and I liked seeing someone in
yeah,
Brian's position elevate, a younger talent, and you could see the impact that had on
yeah. He had a
Stedador. I thought it
glow.
was pretty
He
cool.
almost had a glow.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and
yeah,
and I can
definitely.
understand it. So I
Yeah.
wish I wish
But
that
yeah,
happened a little bit more in the women's division. Maybe we'll see that in future episodes, but we'll see. Who's to say?
hopefully so. Hopefully.
Hopefully so. Okay, folks. So now I would like to hear from you in the chat. We're going to talk about some of our favorite women's entrance themes.
Yes.
So full disclosure, a lot of mine are more in recent years because to me, a lot of the Divas era and a lot of the stuff from like the late 90s, early 2000 or mid 2000s, they were not really they were they were diva entrances. They weren't like badass. You know what I mean? Like they didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that.
I definitely hear you. I definitely hear you. Mine's are pretty much within the last, I say 10 years. How about that? I say the last 10 years for the most part.
Sam,
Real Sam?
Victoria.
Victoria?
All
Okay.
right, you
I
go first.
okay, so in no random
Well,
order at
just give
all.
me one. Just give me one. We'll
All
go
right,
back and
so
forth.
let's do that. So, I'm gonna say Oscar, the future. Like when you hear that theme, and she comes out, and then she's, all of that. You feel it. You feel that vibe when she's coming out. So yeah, Oscar. That's my first pick.
Yeah, and one caveat: due to licensing issues, we can't play the theme, so you'll have to deal with Trenda
Yeah,
humming
so if
along.
I hum a little bit or just, kind of sing a couple of notes, don't worry about it. We are not licensed or, for any of this music, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. JD puts this one in. This is on my Oscar's also on my list. Mickey
Yes.
James, Hardcore Country. Yeah, I mean it's her
Oh,
song. She sings it. She recorded it. It's a great song.
wow.
It's
How
badass.
about, oh my
She
God. How about
she
I
got
didn't even have hardcore country on my list?
and Mickey even got to use that as her entrance in the Royal Rumble, which was
In the
really
Rumble.
cool. So yeah, that's definitely on my list. But so in no particular order, and I'm a big fan of a lot of the NXT themes. I thought Paige's "Stars in the Night" was a really badass theme.
Oh, yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
it was to me a really good entrance theme has to hit right from the first note, where the glass shattering, the if you smell, if you there's a couple of notes that you automatically know who's coming out,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and,
definitely.
and it can't have a lead up. It has to hit you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think you know me, like those. So and with Pages, there's that riff right in the beginning of Pages theme that just it hits instantly, and it was like, and it gears right into that guitar, and it's sort of a badass different vibe to it that really lined up with her character in WWE.
Okay, okay, I'm with that. I'm with that. All right, so I think I see Sam said Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte is on my list.
Me too.
However, I think Rhea Ripley's brutality is like, when you hear Rhea Ripley's brutality and she comes out there and she makes this stance and stomp her foot on the ground, it's like, Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Charlotte on my list too. I'm gonna skip over her, but as far as and I also have Rhea. But Rhea, what was pretty cool is when you're a wrestler or a superstar or whatever you want to call them, and you have someone actually perform your theme live at a pay
Oh,
per view,
yes.
that's next level. And Ash
Definitely.
Costello performed Rhea's theme at an NXT takeover, and I thought it was just, I mean, it's so cool to see stuff like that. And we've heard Nita Strauss talk about her experience getting to play out Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh
So to
god, yes, that is such.
it's
Oh, I think that's one of the most electrifying, to quote, electrifying moments ever to see Nita Strauss perform Shinsuke's song and have him come out. I just, that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So also on my list, and this is not, this is a Mission Pro one. I'm a big fan of Holoded's. Comes out typically to Black Number One from Typo Negative. Love that song. I'm a huge fan of that song. I know it's commercial music and we can't really play it. You wouldn't hear that on like other shows, but man, it is just so perfect for her presentation, for her character, and really her as a person.
Yeah,
She's just
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
badass. Like it's just got a whole different vibe to it. Oh, Brian says
Okay, so
Awesome Kong's entrance. I didn't have that on my list. That's a good one.
ooh, look at Brian trying to be knowledgeable.
Brian knows a thing or two about wrestling, it turns out.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure. Okay, how about this? This is going back a little bit, but they still are very relevant today. I'm gonna do the duel, the Bella Twins. When that song, that theme song came on, you can look, but you don't touch. You knew that these two girls were coming down there, and these two twins are gonna make it happen in the ring. Everybody loved the Bella Twins, so that's actually on my list.
That's a good one. And I wanna give a shout out to my lovely wife. She mentions Diamante. Now, Diamante, I know she's not talking about her AEW theme. What she's talking about is when we used to see Diamante on the Indies, she would come out to Bad Bunny's Chambea.
Okay.
Awesome
Oh,
song.
yes. We had that conversation in the car. We had
Yep.
that conversation. Yes, yes, yes. You and I
Which
heard that. I was like, oh my God, what an awesome song. What
now
an
I don't speak
awesome,
Spanish, so
yes.
I don't know the words, but
Exactly. And we were
Rick
just sitting there like on our way to what? NXT.
yeah,
On our way to NXT, but
yeah.
yes, that was okay.
And
Thank
Ric
you.
Flair's
Thank
in
you
that
for that.
song. He's not only in the song, but he's in the video.
Wow. Yes, that is a really good song. Thank you. Thank you for that one.
That's a good one. Sam calls up Abaddon, also very good.
Abaddon, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
And you were just talking about this in our pre-show. Neil mentions Willow Nightingale's entrance.
yes, definitely, definitely. Neil, yes, yes. Oh, so many great entrances. I love and I just felt like it just had a great message. Um, we're talking about entrances and not the person, but
Oh,
the
hang on,
speaker.
hang on. I have
Wait, which one? Who's that?
Sam's putting in the lyrics for us here.
Oh, this touches this touches Sam's heart. This is close to home for Sam. The one I'm about to say. This is Nia Jax's theme, "Force of Greatness."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I just really feel like that song within itself. When I first heard it, I loved it. Just the song itself, the lyrics, the message it was sending. Like everybody doesn't have to be a perfect size, perfect person, perfect fit in the world that you are, but you still feel, empowered and have so much self esteem. So that I'm not like most girls. I'm sure pretty much a lot of women, a lot of young ladies, a lot of women and ladies that just in general can relate to that song. So that was definitely
Hmm.
on my list. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and someone that I have definitely on my list, and JD calls Bad Reputation from
I
Ronda
I
Rousey. I
have
mean,
bad reputation on here too.
yeah.
How can you not have bad reputation?
Yeah, such a great song. It's just
Yeah.
iconic to her, and it is perfect. And Mrs. Front asks, who used Arena? That was actually used by a company called Queens of Combat that is no longer in existence. But we used to go to their shows, and they would start every show with that song. It wasn't a specific to a wrestler, but you knew as soon as that music hit, the show was starting, and it was pretty
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Neil calls up someone that I think we probably maybe both have, and that's Io Sky
Yo
or Io
Sky,
Shirai.
definitely. Oh,
Um,
yes.
and that's Tokyo Shock is her song. I know that's near and dear to Neil's heart. But what was cool about this, I thought, was talking about someone playing out your entrance music. She had Poppy twice play her to the ring. Once was in 2019 when Poppy played her Scary Mask, but then also just came out to introduce. She played a little bit and came out to introduce EO returning to the ring just a year later in 2020. So pretty cool that Poppy was part of two separate entrances.
Yeah.
Not a lot of wrestlers can say that they had someone play them to the ring twice.
Exactly. Or
So
even
pretty
at
cool.
all for that matter. That's a
Yeah,
genuine um, you know,
it's a feather in your cap for sure.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Okay, one other person that so I have a couple other ones right
Oh,
now.
yeah, go ahead.
One of my favorite ones right now is Zoe Stark's. Um, what you get, it's hard hitting. It's very to me the best themes are representative of the actual
Oh, the
competitor
person.
character, the
Yeah.
athlete, and this perfectly fits her.
Okay. 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 I can do that. I can do that. I agree with that. So, I'm gonna go for the new Mercedes Monet, previously Sasha Banks, the
Monet.
yes, Monet. Her theme song, which of course she had her cousin as a to write for her and to bring her out on Snoop. And yeah, her 2019 theme song, yeah, the heel turn. That
Yeah.
was yeah, yeah, I really like that. I like the hip hop beat to it. I like the combination of her and her cousin together, and then Snoop did a couple of other things in the WWE, which he is continuously doing things in the WWE. But yeah, I like that one too. So I like Sasha's heel turn.
Yeah, Brian, I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm just gonna say whatever music jazz comes out to, I don't care if it's elevator music, I'm terrified. It's always
So yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was listening to Jazz's theme song, and I'm like, as far as, but the person makes the theme. So I totally agree with you. I'm terrified 100%.
yeah. Okay, so a couple more that I have. Stephanie McMahon's "Welcome to the Queendom." Such a
Okay,
cool song, and
okay.
it has a big presence.
Really,
It
yeah. I didn't even
it's
think about that. It's funny because I never really think about Stephanie as a wrestler for the most part. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah. You have any more on your list? My wife calls. Yeah, Ruby Soho, definitely.
Ruby Soho is on my list. It's so fun. It's so catchy. And then, of course, it's her. So
Yeah, right.
Ruby Soho is definitely on my list.
Yep.
And actually, hmm, I think I went through mine. I said I had about 10 or
Okay,
so.
I have one more, and this is a lot of people may or may not be as familiar with this one. Camille uses a song, or sometimes uses a song, "Silence is Golden," um, and that's done by a friend of mine, Zahir, who also did the Nick
Oh,
Aldis theme. He does a lot of music in the UK. He's a fairly well
okay.
known music artist, really really nice guy, and hopefully someday down the road maybe we get to work with him or something. But um, really cool. He's very good at mixing stuff. He even did, if you guys saw, Cody Rhodes tweeted out, he did a really cool version of Cody's music from
Mm.
downstate, and really really cool. Check him out, Zahir Music, on Twitter and on his YouTube channel. He's a good dude and very 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 talented.
Okay.
So yeah, those are all the folks that I have on my list. We could probably go through another 20 or 30 of these, but those are the ones that pretty
Mhm.
much all of those I have on a playlist that I would,
Yeah, and
drive
I
with or
everyone I mentioned, I have literally on my playlist, so, yeah, that's it.
yeah. All right. I appreciate everybody in the chat joining. Lots of great suggestions. Lots of fun this week. We got lots of stuff coming up next week. Make sure to tune in on Tuesday night for On a Mission with Emily May and Veda Scott. They're going to be running down the whole match card for Mission Pro Wrestling's Edge of Glory on April 22nd. If you're interested in sponsorship, you can email us at missionprowrestling@gmail.com. Go to missionprowrestling.com for all of your tickets. Tickets are selling quickly. First row sold out, second row's almost sold out. General admission selling very quickly. So if you're in the San Antonio area or anywhere in Texas, you feel like driving, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you can email us for sponsorship opportunities for individual wrestlers or for show sponsorship. We'd love to have you join the family of sponsors. Trenda, where can people find you on the Twitter?
So on Twitter, it is Habit Forming. It's capital HABIT, the number 4, capital MN. And then I also have the same name on Instagram, all lowercase. So please follow.
Awesome. And I am PW Front Row across all the socials. You can also find me on Saturday nights with our group for the
Nation's
Nation's Corner.
Corner.
We are live at 7 p.m. every Saturday night on YouTube and Facebook as well. This is going to be a really fun week, so make sure you join us. You can find us at Nation's Corner on Twitter and at The Nation's Corner on all the other socials. Make sure to follow Mission Pro Wrestling across all social media and make sure you like, subscribe, and set those alerts so you don't miss all the cool content. There's a lot of content from our folks here over the next couple of weeks, next week and a
Yes,
half leading up to
yes.
the pay-per-view. So stay tuned. Lots of cool
Edge
stuff.
of Glory, people. Get your
Yes.
tickets.
Man, I'm super excited about this one. It's going to be awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Y'all have a good night.